Hi guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing some books for you. They're 3 completely different books and I'm excited to talk about them with you. The books I will be reviewing in no particular order are Your Sister Needs You, But by Kelly Rimmer, Stargazing for Beginners by Jenny McCallum, and All Rights Reserved by Gregory Scott Catalusi. I butchered a lot of authors' names just then. First off, let's start with a little bit of a controversial book, a book that I believe people will be talking about, and that's Your Sister Needs You, But by Kelly Rimmer. I was sent this book in exchange for an honest review from Hackett Australia, so thank you very much, Hackett. This is an adult fiction book and it follows 2 women, Lexi and Annie. Lexi and Annie are sisters and they had a great relationship when they were younger. However, a lot of stuff has happened between then and now they don't really talk as much. They're on 2 completely different paths of lives. Lexi is a successful doctor, has a house, has a great partner, has a whole life in front of her basically. And Annie is a drug addict and is a very troubled person. Then one day Lexi gets a call from her sister Annie and Annie is in trouble. She's pregnant and she's still using drugs. Annie is at risk of dying and so is her baby. And if they both still survive the pregnancy, Annie's baby is at risk of being put into foster care. And Lexi is faced with the very hard choice of deciding who to choose, her sister or her sister's baby. This book deals with a lot of difficult topics and none of them are easy to think about, but however I did think about them and it opened my mind on a lot of things. This book made me feel for both Lexi and Annie, especially Lexi, who's put in such a hard position. And I knew her position from the start. For me, it was obvious. And whilst that position remained obvious to me throughout the whole book, it was still hard. Her decision was hard to make. This book was heartbreaking and kind of beautiful and important. As I said, it deals with hard topics, but it's a book that I quite enjoyed. A book that I really liked the characters, a book that I sympathise with the characters a lot, and a book that I can't wait to discuss with people and see what their thoughts of this book was. Cried at the end of this book, which doesn't happen now as often as it used to. So it says something that I cried. I didn't expect the ending, but for me, that ending had to happen. So I was glad it happened the way it did, in a messed up way. My heart's still not over it. Your Sister Needs You, But will spark controversy. It will spark debate. It will get people talking, which I think is really important for the topics that are discussed in this book. I would really recommend this book. I really enjoyed it. I would rate it between a 3.5 to 4 stars. I'm still thinking about what this book presented to me, and that's always a good thing. Next I have something so much lighter. It's a contemporary book. It's Stargazing for Beginners by Jenny McCallum, and I was sent this book by Bloomsbury Australia in exchange for a honest review. I decided 2 nights ago I just finished Your Sister Needs You, but I wanted to read something contemporary after that. I needed something light, I needed something just light-hearted that I wouldn't have to think too much about, that I could just read and enjoy. And I picked up this book and I read it in 1 sitting. I picked up this book at the perfect time and it was everything that I needed in that moment. This book follows Meg, and Meg has an obsession with space. She wants to become an astronaut. For her, space means escape from her life. And she just is a complete nerd and I love her. But one day Meg's life is thrown into chaos when her mum leaves her and her baby sister to fend for themselves basically, while she goes off on one of her very important causes to save the world. Meg is left to fend for herself and her baby sister for 2 weeks. She also has her granddad, but her granddad isn't the best, most reliable guardian. As much as he means well though, of course. And it follows Meg throughout these 2 weeks, trying to deal with what life has thrown at her, and also still trying to follow her own path and make some friends and get 1 step closer to going to space. This book is light-hearted, it's funny, and it's really cute. There is your typical romance in here that is predictable, but it's still at the same time oh so sweet and oh so cute. You've got some unexpected friendships in here that I just really liked and really rooted for. I really liked also Meg's granddad and her sister Elsa, and Meg herself was just a strong character, but at times I definitely wouldn't have been. This book was sweet and cute and funny and just a perfect contemporary for that moment. It's also really gorgeous too. If you're looking for something light-hearted with a nerdy character, a messed up family, some chaotic friends, and a cute romance, then this is the book for you. Stargazing for Beginners. And it'll also look mint in those Instagram posts. I would rate this book a 3.5 to 4 stars again. quite enjoyed this one too. The last book I have here is All Rights Reserved by Gregory Scott Calusi, and I was sent this book from Harklin in exchange for an honest review. So thank you very much, Harklin. I haven't read a dystopian in a while, and this book is a dystopian YA book, and I loved it. It's been a while since I've read a dystopian, and it's been even a longer while since I've loved a dystopian. This book was what I wanted and needed in a dystopian. It's set in a world where every gesture, every word is copyrighted. Screaming, nodding, me waving, me talking to you like this, all costs money. The moment when a person turns 15, they have to pay for every word and every gesture that they will do for the rest of their life. The word sorry is $10 an illegal admission of guilt. Families are going into debt from this crazy world. Imagine not even being able to say I love you to the person that you love because it's going to cost so much money. Speth is dealing with all of this, and she's about to turn 15 when her best friend commits suicide rather than face the enormous debt that his family is under. When you turn 15, you're to give a speech and then you're to start paying that money. However, when the time comes for Speth to give her speech, she completely freezes up, and with or without meaning to, she doesn't say a word, and it works. And she does the one thing that no one's ever dared to do before. She vows not to speak again. This speaks a media frenzy, outrage, applause, protests, and people willing to follow Speth in this non-speaking vow, which threatens to destroy her family and the world as they know it. I highly enjoyed this book, as I said before. As I said, it's been a while since I've read a good dystopian, and this was definitely one. Speth's world was crazy, and it made me so angry and so intrigued and so disgusted and just everything I love in a dystopian. It made me think of the words that I just throw around. Made me think that people wouldn't have YouTube channels unless they were rich, because how could you? Unless you weren't going to talk to them, I couldn't do book reviews. I wouldn't have the money to do book reviews. And that is crazy to me. This world was crazy, but it was done in such a way that it was so intriguing. I really enjoyed the characters in here. Meg and her family. I really enjoyed Meg's sister. At times really frustrated me. At the same times I got her so much, and I felt for her. I felt for her family, because it's so hard on the rest of her family for Meg not speaking. It has so many consequences that they now have to deal with. Meg's choice is not an easy one, and I love how this book discusses it and talks about it, and also, you know, talks about, in a way, copyright law and trademark law and everything like that. And it's really interesting and intriguing. I really enjoyed this book, and if you're looking for a smart dystopian, then this is a book for you. If you haven't read a dystopian in a while and you're looking to pick one up but you want it to be a good, smart, great one, then this is the one I would recommend. All Rights Reserved. I would rate this book a 4 out of 5 stars. So these are the books that I reviewed for you today. Let me know in the comments below which one you were wanting to pick up and why. And like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos to me. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye!